The Supreme Court in the U.S. has upheld a Texas law that would require ID to visit some websites. Last Friday, in a 6-3 vote, the Supreme Court upheld a Texas law aimed at blocking minors from accessing online adult content, which on the face of it sounds like a good thing. I don't think most minors need to be seeing that kind of content. However, like many potentially well-intentioned policies and legislation, this one is full of holes. And no, not all of them can be filled because we can't get to the websites to see it. The Free Speech Coalition had challenged the Texas law due to worries about the First Amendment being infringed upon. Justice Clarence Thomas stated he didn't believe that this restricts adults' free speech rights, saying, adults have the right to access speech obscene only to minors, but adults have no First Amendment right to avoid age verification. Okay. Even though this is now overturning decades of precedent and has the potential to upend access to First Amendment protected speech on the internet for everyone, children and adults alike, said Samir Jain, Vice President of Policy at the nonprofit Center for Democracy and Technology. Yeah. This is because back in 1996 and 2004, as well as many other times, there were rulings that federal law at the time said it would be unconstitutional to have restrictive measures on content filtering. Several websites that would be required to have this age verification check are simply not running in Texas, as well as in several other states, because they don't want to be the ones responsible for holding people's private information, like driver's licenses, passports, and whatever other ID would be used to verify the user. See, that's the problem with this law, is that
I don't want that either.
The government is not doing the work to make it manageable. They don't have a nationwide ID program for every man, woman, and child that is properly administered and properly safeguarded and whatever. And I'm not even advocating for that as a solution here. I'm just saying that they are not doing the work and not putting in any kind of infrastructure that would enable these organizations to perform the identity and age verification checks that they are demanding that they perform. They're putting all of the liability on these private enterprises, all of whom are going to have to create from scratch some kind of solution to collect this information, validate it, and store it, which is insane.
I'm assuming what they're hoping, if I can try to find an argument for them right now, I'm assuming what they're hoping is that the free market will make a Stripe-like thing where the liability goes on a third-party company that is very highly security focused.
Sure, I mean, that worked great for the credit monitoring industry. Equifax is awesome. TransUnion too. I love them both. Dude,
what I'm kind of surprised...
TransUnion's site is so f***ing garbage. They had a wrong address in my history. And I went in and tried to change it. And once you try to change it, first of all, it took me like 3 times on the phone with them to stop my account from just randomly locking when I would try to get into it. And then we finally managed to get me into the account. And then it's like a separate portal to go and like register for a change. And then when I finally got an email saying that there was an update to my change request. And then when I tried to log into it, the page would error out every time I would try to go to it. I still don't know what happened with that, but I have never lived in Edmonton. It's been a wild saga.
The thing that surprises
great
me...
system!
The thing that surprises me the most is that there wasn't one of these sites already queued up by one of the people trying to push for this bill. That's the thing that surprises me, is that there isn't a solution that already at least sort of exists.
I don't think they've thought that far ahead.
There's a really interesting point at the end here.
I think you're giving them too much credit. I think this is just classic.
Elijah.
Will somebody please think of the children?
I know, but as Elijah says at the end of this topic, I swear this prawn topic comes up every month. We've talked about the Texas one in particular, I think like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I don't have another solution to accomplish the thing that they want other than just clicking yes on a website. And I don't think there is one.
I don't think so either. But like that's the issue is you're supposedly, anti-government overreach and anti-regulation, except when it's convenient. Or in this case, like inconvenient. Like there is no plan. There's no concept of a plan for how this could possibly be implemented. And look, I'm not saying that the adult entertainment industry is precious and should be protected at all costs. At all. I'm just saying that if your argument is that they need to do this thing and you have literally no idea how you expect them to do it, how do you legislate that? I can't think of another example of something this stupid.
And like because I can imagine legislating something where you don't have the answer for it. I can't imagine that being a thing in a variety of scenarios. But in this scenario, the thing that you're trying to tell them to do is putting serious security risks on everyone involved.
Well, yeah.
So it's like you kind of know the only direction that they can go in, and you know that it's bad, which seems not good.
Yeah, I gotta wonder what lobbyist is pushing this. Like, who is asking for this?
I don't know. Genuinely unsure.
Helen Lovejoy. That's the only possible thing I can think of.
Who's that?
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Oh, that is actually her. Wow, you're so informed.
Am I?
On The Simpsons?
I'm sure, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I haven't kind of watched any of the last probably 10 or 15 seasons, but...
You and Sir Dankpods should sit down and chat about The Simpsons.
There's only 8 seasons.